introducing yourself?
Sure. My name is Elena. I'm 21 years old, a senior with a major in media study and a concentration in production.
Okay, so how does your work and aspiration relate to media study?
Well, in order to answer that question, I feel that it's necessary to describe what media study exactly means to me. Um, Media study could mean many things. You know, you have critical theory, and then you have what I'm studying, the production aspect of it. So to me, the production portion is what I want to follow suit in. That's what I want to build my career on. So my goal and aspiration in life is to eventually become a film director. Um, so that's how it relates to media study, because being on the set of a film, you're in charge of creating this story and letting it unfold for the audience to see. So for you to be a part of that and have such a major role in that, it's kind of your story, but you're working with other people to build something bigger for the audience to see and for them to be entertained by.
Okay, so do you mind telling us how you got into media study?
Sure. It's kind of a little bit of a funny story. For years and years, I was so very gung ho that I was going to get into business. I was going to become like an entrepreneur and start my own company and everything like that. And then the process of getting into college happened, and I realized I hated math. So I had to come up with something else, and my mom sat down with me and she's like, you know what? I think you'd be really good for film. And I was like, why do you say that? And she's like, well, every time we watch a movie or a television show, you're just always analyzing it. Like, you're just literally taking the film apart and recreating something else. Like, you always say the lighting needs to be this, the characters need to be in that position, the storyline needs to go in this direction. And I thought about it, and I'm like, you're right. So I went with it, and here I am 4 years later, and I'm absolutely in love with it. So I know this is what I want to do. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but it's worth it. So.
Okay, when you say a lot of work, what type of opportunities have you done or have you been shown or given to prepare you for the work?
Aside from all my production courses at UB, I had the opportunity to do an internship on a national television talk show um, last summer, and it was absolutely fantastic. I worked hands-on with the producers, associate producers, production assistants, production coordinator, just everyone on the show, and I got to work with them like from the very beginning stages of coming up with show ideas to filming the show. And it was an absolutely beautiful experience. So I was on set, I was doing on-street promos, I was doing hidden camera operations, and it just kind of reconfirmed to me that this is exactly what I want to do. It was very hard. People got a little nasty from time to time, and that's understandable because they're trying to run an operation, they're trying to run a show. So it's understandable that people can get a little testy from time to time, but that's the way the industry, people are like that. But I think it's important to know your own worth, hold your own, don't get testy back, and just know you're there to create something special for the audience. Because at the end of the day, it's all about what the audience wants, but it's also very important to know your story and what you want to produce for them. So I appreciate the fact that it was a very hands-on internship. I wasn't just going around getting people coffee and bagels and things like that. I was actually working. So it actually gave me the opportunity to see what it's like. But it also made me realize that I am more into scripted television and film work. Because while that's a television, like a talk show, it's more of like real life family drama, things of that nature. And I realized we're kind of tearing these families apart, kind of bringing them down to kind of bring them back up. But it wasn't my cup of tea. So I prefer more so scripted things because I like fiction work. You know, I like coming up with something out of my like fantasy, out of my dreams, and making it real. So yeah.
So you said you like scripted work.
Yes.
Is there any particular genre that you want to be involved in the future?
Um, that's a good question. I don't know. Right now, I'm coming out of my teen years where I'm all into the teen drama, which is right now all about vampires, witches, and werewolves. So I'm still kind of into that phase a little bit. So I'm all about romantic teen drama. In the future, that can easily change. I love drama flat out. That's my thing. Love drama. And I like action too. So if there's a way I can actually combine the two and make something really cool, that'd be awesome. It's just a matter of being able to come up with something, some sort of creative idea, and working on it. So,
Okay, curveball question. If you would choose to collaborate with any artist, director, actor, screenwriter, special effects crew, or even like recreate a particular movie, who, what, why?
who? I think it'd be super duper fun to work with Quentin Tarantino. He's very controversial, yes, but he's very controversial. I understand a lot of people are kind of like very on the fence about him, but I like his rebelliousness. But he's very creative, and he just doesn't give a damn. Like he doesn't care, and I'm kind of like that same. I'm in that same mindset. Like I don't care. Like I'm gonna do what I want. It's my movie, and I'm gonna put out what I want. So I feel like the two of us could create something really really cool. In terms of like maybe combining some action into there. Um, Maybe get the director from Transformers, uh, Michael Bay. There you go. Because he's really good with throwing in action where it's appropriately involved in the movie. It's not just always in there. Um, so I think the three of us could come up with something really, really cool. So that'd be exciting. Maybe, fingers crossed.
Well, thank you, Elena.
Thank you.